Now we are. Boom. You guys just don't say anything? Cool.
No. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Don't hate Crate. How you doing?
I feel pretty good because I figured out how to make it go live. So it's my first win. Where did Charles go?
Oh,
There we
yeah,
go.
I'm here.
Okay, so what was you guys' biggest takeaway from all the information that we've gotten this last week?
Peggy? Or whoever? Well, what's
Maybe you're
yours?
spitting on.
My biggest takeaway so far is that I don't know, the case hasn't been super strong comparatively at first as I thought it would be.
No, I agree. And it's kind of concerning to me. And I know a lot of people think he's guilty or innocent, and you can think that, but
I mean, well, when I say that I feel that he's guilty, that's more like a gut feeling. If I was on the jury, that's different because I'd have to go on there and literally go by the evidence and everything else that is, at the moment, if I was on the jury, I'd probably be like, no, he's not guilty, obviously. That's just me being honest.
okay.
My biggest takeaway is no one should trust Mullins with any type of technology ever again. He should
Amen.
be like completely banned from touching anything digital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Help, I've been kidnapped and forced to do
Blake.
this.
Hi.
Help, I've been kidnapped.
Wait.
Hi, Kelly. Hi, Withall. Hi, USA Libertarian. Thank you
Kidnapped
guys
and
all for
forced.
being kind and gentle with us.
Blue Eye Trucker.
You don't have to be
Hope you're
kind and
good.
gentle with me. I like it rough.
I know, that's why I fucking talk shit about you all the time.
Exactly.
Bam! Smack you upside the head like a little bully. But my
Paradox, I have a
issue.
question.
Yeah, go
How
ahead.
many feet pics did you get today?
I know, right?
40,
That's a good question.
45.
What's your quota?
Nice.
What?
Do you have like a quota for the day?
Yeah,
Wait,
20.
is
Oh,
that 45? Is that 45 pairs of feet, or is that 45 feet in general? Like,
I don't, it's not
did one
pairs.
chick just have one leg, or maybe three? I'm just wondering.
I got a few one-leggers.
All right, hell
Yeah.
yeah, bro. Don't discriminate. Don't hate,
Peace.
create.
All right.
Sorry.
All right. What are you, what's your live about?
Oh, it's just a 15-minute live to just try it out.
You
Okay.
literally just made a 15-minute live for nothing. Now all these people are gonna run away, going there fucking. Yeah, I'll shut up.
Insane. Yeah.
Well, you guys can
We
just
are.
continue talking like you were before. You're
Yeah.
good.
Here's my issue with this case so far,
Mhm,
and I'll argue either side, as you both know,
mhm,
or all three of you know.
mhm.
My issue is the defense has been pushing back pretty hard, and it seems like it's working, and that's fine. But my biggest issue is, are we trying to convict somebody who's not guilty? And I walk away with that feeling sometimes recently after the opinions of the court were made, and I go to bed and I'm like, well, fuck, if the damn jury thinks these opinions mean something, and on top of that, are we convicting somebody who is guilty? That concerns me.
It does
What's your
concern me.
opinions?
It definitely concerns me, but to be honest, at the moment, I'm still under the assumption that there's nobody else that fits that profile better than Richard Allen does.
Nobody.
It
Or does
nobody.
Richard Allen fit the profile though?
Yeah, does he?
I told Joe about 5 years ago. I told everybody in my group on the other side and that,
Mhm.
and then some, exactly the height and everything. So you're
Yeah.
telling me I just happened to pick the same guy that the cops are now, the same height and everything that this guy happens to be by accident?
I don't know.
I
Or
don't know.
did
I
There's
you?
a
don't
lot of
think you
fucking
could figure out the
coincidence.
height, but that's
There's
for sure.
Well, there's an easy way to measure his height, and I can easily prove that.
No, I
Well,
don't
but
think
you
you can.
never said Richard Allen did this, did you? Did this?
No, I didn't. I never once said Richard Allen did this. I just said it's really odd how the measurements on height and all that other stuff seem to match up pretty well with who the cops arrested for the
Well,
crimes.
Charles,
That's all.
the FBI thing on the suspect said like 5'8" for like the longest time, 5'8".
5'8"
So,
to 5'10", if I remember correctly. Yep. Richard
Okay.
so
Allen
you,
isn't 5'8" at all. Even in
no,
hiking boots, he's only about 5'7".
he's not. You're right.
Mhm.
Isn't he like 5'6"? I'm not sure.
Technically, without shoes, which is how they measure you when
Yeah.
you're in jail,
Yeah.
he's 5'4", almost 5'5", I believe.
Get the fuck
Now,
out of
if
here.
you
You gotta
add,
be kidding me.
I'm 100% serious, but if you add on
Uh,
the fact that most hiking boots, which we see bridge guys wearing in the video, have an estimated height lift of about an inch to an inch and a half, if you take that 5'4" to 5'4.5", and you add that 1.5 to it, you start to get an area of 5'6" to 5'7". And like I said, I don't need to prove it.
no,
There's
you don't.
lives on my channel and everything else where I'm sitting there saying this is how tall I say the guy is.
Kelly, you think Bridge Guy is like an enigma, or do you think that like yeah, they did take the picture down and they did take off the height and weight, which was totally weird off the FBI site.
Yeah, they
Well, I
did.
want to know who unknown suspect number 2 is, who just happens to be young bridge guy.
Oh yeah,
I don't think that's what we're dealing with, honestly, at all. If I also had who was at the bridge, I had them measured between the bolts of on the train trellis or whatever, and that's what I used to actually measure the suspect or bridge guy.
Mhm.
And then I also had them measure the amount of distance, which I believe is like around 60 or so feet or whatever. And you're talking about Betty Blair or whatever her name is. I believe she wears glasses. She's slightly older in age, amongst other things. I highly doubt somebody with glasses and everything else has a 20/20 field shape of vision. It's more than likely she's just wrong on what she saw because she
I,
saw him
I
on
don't
that
agree.
first platform.
I
Hmm.
don't agree at all.
So you think it was somebody else?
Or I think she saw a bridge guy. It just wasn't Richard Allen.
Hmm.
Well,
Possible.
I made my comments because if you go to the FBI's website
Huh?
and you download the image of young bridge guy, it is titled Unknown Suspect Number 2. That's the name of the file or the PDF that was
I didn't know
uploaded.
that. But I don't believe the cops are telling the truth about a lot of things. I think they knew about Richard Allen a long time before this. There's too many weird coincidences that once you start to line them up, and most people either don't even know about them or only heard about it once and don't
Right.
know,
so
remember.
Charles, you think they're
Hmm.
lying in the PCA
About which part?
about
Any of it.
No, I mean, honestly, I believe that's what's in that PCA. From what I remember, right, that information is correct. What I believe is, I don't believe this bullshit story about the Orion system and all this other crap, and that's how they found Richard Allen. I don't believe that whatsoever. I believe they knew about him long before that, and there's actually evidence to point that out, and it still exists to
No,
this day.
I disagree
Oh,
here. There's no evidence to point that out.
or it's one hell of a coincidence.
What evidence are you speaking of?
All right, 2018, a little thing pops up on Facebook from a sheriff's department in Tennessee claiming that bridge guy has been spotted in the mountains of Tennessee, right? It's still on there. You can look it up, by the way. So that's my evidence. A day later, they revoked that, but they kept the thing up. That they just said, "Hey, sorry guys, we just happened to be wrong. We didn't spot bridge guy here. Da da da. We just got a flyer from Delphi, Indiana, in Carroll County, and we somehow mistaken it for something to do with Tennessee." Now, here's the part where it's a freaky ass coincidence. Guess what also happened in 2018? Right before or right after this thing was leaked onto Facebook or whatever, guess where the Allens happened to go on vacation at? Care to take a guess?
Right.
Out of all 50 states, out of all the counties and everything else, they just happened to be at that same mountain range. I'm sure everybody here has seen the horseback riding video, the waterfall video, the da da da. All of these were in that same general area where this accidental post on Facebook from a sheriff's department from that same area.
Why do you guys think that the suspect thing is still on the FBI's most wanted and it's using like the younger guy sketch?
Because they might be still looking for another suspect. That's true.
I don't know. That's weird.
But wouldn't you want the public's help to find this suspect? Why
Well,
not?
it's on
Why
the
not
website,
just
ain't it?
say? Yeah, no, but why not say? Why not clarify this? You know what I mean? Like, because
Well,
I think
plus
the
it's the
answer to
FBI's
that is
website.
because they don't want to leave reasonable doubt out there.
And you use the word evidence, and there's no evidence.
Oh,
It
Lord,
hasn't
do I
been
have to
provided.
find it? But if I literally leave this page, it's going to shut me out of StreamYard. You just have to trust me for now. I'll have it to you before the end of the night. Trust me. I'll show
On my
you.
desk by the end of the night.
If I change pages right now, it's going to kick me off of StreamYard. I'm just saying.
Get the fuck out of here. No, I'm just kidding.
Because that's why I mean, I'll leave. It's not a problem. But if I do anything and leave this page, it's literally going to kick me out of here.
Yeah, I get
It's already done it 3 times.
Thing.
But this is a known fact. If you go to Google and just type in Tennessee bridge guy spotted in Tennessee, I'm sure you're going to start to find the links that I'm talking about.
The evidence that I have is through court so far, right?
Yeah,
well, this isn't a court thing or whatever. Okay. Yeah, I just said this was either a hell of a coincidence or it's a possible that the cops knew about Richard Allen before they're letting us, before they are telling us they knew about him. That's all I said.
Yeah.
True.
It's one hell of a coincidence. That's all.
Eyewitnesses are notoriously unreliable, and you can't cherry pick.
Exactly.
And say like what
it's more than likely she was just wrong.
I don't think
the most. Well, I'm just reaching for logic, man. And the most logic to me says that she just was wrong. That's all.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that. That's fine.
So, I just saw a comment about if they say when it was updated. I'm not sure, but what I did find was a news article that said that FBI updated the sketch or like the poster, whatever they want to call it, and that happened a year ago in 2022. So I can say it existed since 2022.
Well, I believe it was the 2019 presser or whatever, where they actually said, "Hey, we're gonna lean off the old bridge guy sketch and rely on the young bridge guy sketch," and blah 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 blah. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with the FBI now leaning towards them portraying that sketch more than anything, but it might. Just saying.
Okay.
No, I'm referring to the unknown suspect. What?
Or are you talking about the third sketch?
No,
I'd have to see it. Is it old bridge guy or young bridge guy, or is it the third sketch? Because there's technically at least 3.
Yeah, it was just pulled up. I don't know if we could put that back on.
I can't. Biggie,
Yeah.
Wait, what do I do?
put the. What do you want?
On the FBI's website where they had updated like the
Oh,
information.
can you guys see my screen when I present it? Hold on.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we were seeing it. Yeah.
Yeah. When you
Okay,
present
then
your,
I
yeah.
have to go back there. Hold on.
Okay, take your time. But yeah, when you're there, if you could see when if there's any like notation of when that was updated.
Yeah, see,
on
if
this
that's the
website.
sketch you're going with, that's basically been the go-to since 2019. That's not
No,
even the
I
Well,
know.
recent one
it's
that
the one they
people
have
also
on there.
claim. Yeah.
Right. I'm speaking of when they updated the website here.
Can I do
I
that
know
like
what
in
you're saying.
the settings or whatever?
Yeah, when they update this.
I don't know how to do it.
I think she said 2022 or whatever.
Well, I found a news article that said they were updating or they just updated like the information, but okay. Yeah, I know that the sketch has been existing since 2019,
Right.
but the
Actually, the sketch existed back in
well, yeah.
2017. It was the first sketch that was given.
Yep, Charles. Yep. That is correct.
Sorry, when trying to interrupt or
No.
whatever.
I'm just not able to obviously speak correctly right now.
Yeah, you definitely seem sleepy.
I'd still smash. Jesus, Dan, or Paradox. What are you talking about?
Really, like everybody here's not used to it by now.
Thank you.
You've asked me for feet pics at least 7 times today, at least. Probably more like
Oh
4
yeah,
or
you
5,
guys
but
can
still.
send Paradox your feet pics if you're in the chat.
Don't tell people to send him feet pics.
That's
I
true.
was
Not to
asking
know.
for the knee pics today.
Oh yeah,
Damn it.
now it's me.
Yeah.
Progressed.
I'll take some good elbow ones. No, I'm just kidding.
Ah, you would.
Yeah. What if the timeline is wrong?
What if it is?
See, here's the
Like we
thing.
were
Everybody,
arguing, can you agree what time that he was there at? And they were saying from like 1 till
1:15.
yeah. No, I say no. You can't. We can't agree on that.
No, we couldn't
Well,
agree in our conversation
technically,
earlier.
I ain't seen the Hoosier Harbor Stores video yet. Depending on what it shows, and if a certain black car with a hatchback happens to be seen on there backing into the CPS building, then I'm going to go, okay, that's what time he got there. Obviously, we don't have the video that shows him leaving because he took an alternative route away.
Oh,
But
what
didn't he
route?
walk right by the camera?
Yeah, but this camera's high up on top of a silo that usually is filled with grain and shit like that. So
Why does
and
that
it's
matter?
motion activated.
Oh,
So it takes quite a bit of stuff to get it to be triggered, and I'm not exactly sure at the moment if a person walking from is going to get picked up on that sensor from about 30, 40 feet up.
No,
oh,
it
Brittany, thank
wouldn't.
Now, a
you. Yeah,
car
you have
is
to be there.
much larger of an object, so
What's this question?
What? Oh, what's the question?
Yeah,
Like,
you
what
brought up
time he was
Brittany's
there at?
comments.
oh yeah, definitely Richard Allen could have seen a different set of girls. That's definitely
Fuck.
possible.
Thank you.
But what are the odds that okay, the girl that
Yeah,
she saw
I'll see
him,
it.
that's a witness, happens to be 5'4". Okay, she says the dude literally about her height.
Hmm.
Richard
No, she
Allen
said
just
she came
happens to
up to
be
his
right around that
shoulder.
height.
She said she came up to his shoulder, or he came up to her shoulder. Right.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
And I believe didn't one of the sketches come from one of the girls that looks just like young bridge guy but with like a face covering or something? Or is
From
that
what I remember, right, young bridge guy was gotten from Betsy Blair or whoever it was that saw the man on the first platform. And the other sketch,
The one
pretty
that
sure
looks
it
like
wasn't.
young bridge
It's
guy.
somebody that was driving. Yeah, she. That was Betsy Blair who helped with that one. And the
No, but
other
there's two
one
of them.
was
There's. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to answer that one. Okay, and the other one, if I remember right, was I believe it was somebody driving by that saw him. If I remember right,
The old bridge guy is
mixed in
from the
with the
their
girls.
car.
Yeah,
Okay. So what I'm saying is there's at least 4 sketches,
Mhm.
right? There's one of like people allege looks like somebody
Mike Patty.
that's
Jerry Holding said one of them's Mike Patty.
okay. Yeah. And then there's one that
but
looks like nobody, right? That's the one that what's her name? Teresa Liebert. Is that her
Right.
name?
Yeah.
Right by the mailbox, right? That
Right.
Yeah,
disappear.
right. That's like
Then
the
there's the
scrappy
old
looking guy.
bridge guy, which is, I believe, sketch number 2, but released first. Then there's Betsy Blair's young bridge guy sketch, right?
Well, she was
And
within
then there's
25 feet of. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, and then there's a fourth one that I'm aware of. There could be more, but the fourth one is what I'm referring to, where it looks like to me young bridge guy, but the difference is there's a face covering over the mouth area
Right.
and the hood up, and I believe that sketch was one of the girls that, and I could be wrong.
that's definitely I think you're right about that one.
Yeah, that's the one I'm referring to. So
Hold on, I'm gonna bring them up so we can make sure we know which one you're talking about. This one is the Teresa Liebert one, right?
No, that's the Betsy Blair one. That's young
the
No,
bridge
this
one
guy.
one.
in the
Can I
middle one,
see?
yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I can't see shit.
And
Hold
then
on. Oh yeah. Okay.
I love these little crayon drawings too.
But can I add, since everybody's looking at the pictures at this moment in time, that in just alone in the Golden State Killer case, all the witnesses and surviving victims and everything else combined for a total of, I think it was 30 to 40 different sketches. And you know
Mhm.
how many of them actually looked like D'Angela?
None.
One.
Oh, I
Just
thought it was
one.
none. Right.
No, but
Well, there's this
I
guy.
can look at one and say, you know what? I can see him I can see him right there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's still
But the
like
rest of them,
it's an
nothing
objective
like it.
view. You look at them, and like this is why I always say eyewitnesses are the worst witnesses.
Mhm.
And they are,
That's
and
one of the
I'll
biggest
never.
pieces of evidence that should not be allowed in court. Unless you were seen by multiple witnesses and whatever else, I don't believe witnesses should be allowed in court. You should have
Oops.
multiple witnesses, and still it
Sorry,
shouldn't be relied
sorry,
on.
buddy.
I disagree with you on that, but because that's how we catch killers and shit. But
They're
go
used
I
ahead.
when
believe
it's
there's a
the
reason why most
inconvenience.
old.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just believe there's multiple reasons why certain old evidence is still used as evidence today, like fingerprints
Mhm.
and even DNA and stuff like that, because those can be actually linked if done right.
Right.
I'm not saying the labs are doing them right. I'm just saying, these are things that still exist to this day for a reason.
Right.
Okay,
Okay,
but like this comment right here says essentially people are trying to have two different conversations. Some people are saying Ari did it, and he's in the camp of how can you prove it, which is like a really good way to look at it, because we have to be like out of our camps of like anti and pro, because we're just like
Oh,
we just need to look at the information and like try to get rid of those what do they call them, bowling, when you put the things up so you have to go in that lane.
the gutters,
Bumper,
the which ones are
bumpers. We
bumpers?
gotta
Yeah,
like
bumpers.
take
Yeah.
those down. It's not just
and
like what fits in
we
that
have
lane.
people here. We have multiple people here that think different things. So
Yeah, there's two people here that think he's innocent. There's two people here that think it's a high possibility that he could be guilty, I guess. you know.
Dear Lord, I hope he is guilty, though.
But
Same.
at the same time, I already said myself at the very beginning of this thing that as far as I've seen case-wise, it's not a very strong case so far. So at
No,
least
it's a
I'm
terrible
being
case.
honest and open to other things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
This is one of the worst cases I've seen in some time. And like I said, in private here, between the four of us, like, evidence is evidence.
mhm.
Circumstantial evidence is just as good as direct evidence. Never forget that.
I
However,
don't
you
know
need
if
to
it's
weigh
just
it.
as good, but it cumulatively is.
Yeah, you need to weigh it. And
And
these jurors will weigh it, and they'll come up with their idea. So don't just get off on your fucking spin that he's guilty or not guilty. Not up to you, anybody. Like, honestly.
Well, it's
but
not
yeah,
obviously, but we're still watching it, right?
Mm-hmm.
but there's a
Yeah.
difference when somebody asks me my personal opinion
Mm-hmm.
than what I would do if I was on a jury. Because
Yeah.
when you're a jury member, there's certain specific things you have to do and you have to go by. That's why they give you the rules and tell you how it goes and everything else. But I'm an idiot in Florida, so I can literally say, hey, I just don't like the way that guy looks. He probably did it. Yeah, you can get mad at me, you can do whatever you want, but
Yeah.
that's just still my opinion. At least I'm
But
being
like
honest about it.
we have to remember too, we're not like to the point in the case where like they are like the prosecution is presenting it in like a timeline, and we're at the point where they don't know who it is.
Mm-hmm.
So like we're not going to be getting that evidence of like how Richard Allen's guilty right now because like for one they messed up all the evidence, but for two like we're not to that point where they've gotten to that yet. I think.
Now,
Maybe.
But
well,
here's
the
the
meat.
question, everybody.
Oh, I was gonna say real
Should
quick.
it be
The meat in the
okay? Oh,
case.
go for it.
I was
No,
gonna
go
say
for
that
it.
the meat in the case is just starting to come out. Yes, it'll be up like this next several days. Is when we're gonna get like timelines and shit. So just anyways, go ahead.
Can we at least settle on one thing amongst the four of us, and that's pretty much that the bullet is bullshit?
Yes.
There's no way that they can actually say that they can conclude that that came from the crime itself, for one. For two, I don't believe that we have the technology, the resources, or anything like that to be able to capably prove an unspent round came out, even in the particular fashion that I said was possible before, and that's only like 60%. That's still not anywhere near 100%.
Well, and if
I
they
mean, as
can't
I said,
exclude Brad Weber's gun, then or bolt like his gun
that's what
for
I'm
that
saying.
bullet, then it's basically
So you agree with it or not?
It's bullshit.
You agree with the statement or you don't?
Yeah, do you agree or what, Fish?
I agree.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
I
That's
Peggy?
what I
agree.
thought. I've agreed this whole
Yeah.
time.
So this whole bullet thing, all four of us can agree is a bullshit.
Yeah,
It's not a science, quote
because
unquote. It's
I can already tell because I know everybody in this little live or whatnot. This isn't anybody's first case here.
mm-mm.
We're not just some noobs who just got involved and think we know fucking everything. You know, we actually research
I
other
am. I
cases and
think I
shit
am.
like that first. Well, if
All
you're a
right.
noob, why the fuck are you here?
No, I'm just kidding. But like the timeline,
No, I
I
know.
think something that's interesting from the case is like I had a lot of questions early on, like why statements didn't match for certain people. Like in particular, like the family, which I definitely apologize for and stuff. But like it all is like lining up to make sense, like why different people saw like the shoe in different places and why Kelsey couldn't like necessarily say exactly where it was. Is because like it was confusing and multiple people came upon
Right.
bodies from different angles and different directions. And so when like this person was saying that they were the one that found him, they weren't like it wasn't that everything didn't line up. It did. We just didn't understand how it was.
Right. I
That's a
agree.
good point.
And here's the thing: like once you finish looking at this trial, because we know more than the jury will ever know, for the most part.
Exactly.
We're gonna learn a lot of things. But they'll never know as much as us at the end of this trial. So please forgive them if they if they convict them. And you don't think he should be convicted? I understand that. And if
No,
they
I'll be
don't
the
convict
first one
him,
to admit. Mhm.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go for it. Go for it, dude. I didn't know you were continue. My bad.
Well, and if they don't convict him and they acquit him, just understand they didn't know all the shit we knew beforehand. Like they're going in here empty-handed. They don't know a damn thing.
Well, I think it's good that they don't know all this stuff because it was a bunch of wrong directions. Like it can't be all of the people.
Right.
I'm going to
I
say
agree.
it's literally just like O.J. Simpson and Casey Anthony. I'm going to say that he's probably guilty as they are, but
Same.
he got
No,
away with
he's
it. That's
innocent
all
right
it is.
now. Just say he's probably innocent right now because he is, and make him prove the case.
I never
Well,
said he was
factually,
guilty.
he's
I
factually
said that he
innocent right now.
probably did it. Yeah, factually, by law, he is innocent at the moment in time. That is
Yeah.
fact. Not 100% innocent, but still innocent.
Yeah, factually.
He's
Yeah.
actually right now. I would
And
consider
people,
him 100% being fucked or being
you want to
being
know who's
innocent.
100% innocent? You want to know who's 100% innocent?
OJ.
You're 100% innocent. Para,
So is
he's
Richie Allen.
100% innocent.
Okay,
It
you
could
know
happen to
who?
No,
anybody.
The girls are 100% innocent, and they
because
do
you want to
not
know
Thank you.
why I
deserve
can
what
say?
happened to them.
I can say most of us are innocent for 100% fact. You want to know why? Because we don't live in Indiana. Right away, you start losing
Right.
a percentage depending on how close to the crime you become.
That's
So
not
not
how it works.
only, well, he's in Indiana, right?
Yeah.
So that's a little. Just take off 1% for that. We'll just play nice, okay? And then right after that, he lives in Delphi.
Right.
We've always, I mean, personally, my own profile literally stated that this was a local that was able to blend in with everything in Carroll County or whatever else.
Hmm.
And sure enough, look what it is.
Well, yeah, but Peggy, what were you saying?
Oh my bad.
I was just saying the real innocent people in this case is
Are the
the
people
two
that were killed?
girls.
Or the
Yeah.
people, the
Yeah,
Yes,
two girls that got
100%.
killed.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's
And I
just
think all four of us can agree, and I hate to cut you off here, but all four of us can agree that we all want the person that responsible to be put in prison. I think.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I'm terrified if he or somebody else gets out that it's going to happen again.
Right.
Because
And it
somebody,
will. Somebody's
I
there.
don't
Somebody did
believe,
this. Somebody did this. We all know
exactly.
that. And I always thought it was a serial killer, and I won't back down upon that. This wasn't somebody's first fucking try at this.
I
I
don't know.
agree with that,
Me
Brittany.
personally, I think his plans fell apart completely.
You think so? It could be that
I think
too.
his plan just
Yeah, when he
fell the
parked at
fuck
the
apart.
CPS building, his plan was shit. Like, fucking,
No,
it's not
I think
happening.
he had an alternative way that he was planning to go out through the woods to get back to that CPS building.
So what
That wasn't going
prevented
to
him from
get
doing
him
that?
seen. The girls took off running.
So he
At
couldn't
least
go
one of
back
them.
to the thing?
Not really, because you got to think at that point he's covered in blood, and we have witnesses that see him without the blue jacket and stuff on anymore. So at that point, he's already gotten rid of his bloody clothing. He's probably got them on him, I'm sure, but he's put that stuff away and whatnot. So he thinks he can just blend himself away. But then we got somebody like the bloody witness. But I personally don't believe that person whatsoever. But yeah, I guess.
And there's a question: how many shoes were there? Does anybody have an answer here? My understanding is there's 3 shoes right now. Right now.
I believe there was 3 shoes. Yep. And Abby
Uh,
was wearing 2 shoes. So
right.
yeah,
That's
kind of
the
weird.
issue. Yeah, that is an
hmm
issue.
Wait, so there's 5 shoes, is that right?
Oh yes, there's 5 shoes.
3 belongs to a victim. Yeah.
How did that
And
make
for the
sense?
life of me, since I heard about this case almost 8 years ago, something has bugged me, a detail that I still can't think is just a coincidence. There has to be something that involves that. Are you telling me that these murders just so happen to occur on February 13th at, and the crimes literally start at 2:13 p.m.?
Right.
Yeah, I think that actually is a coincidence. Like, I think it's crazy.
That's one
and
hell of
it's
a
weird.
claim.
But
And
like,
then when
do
you
you
flip
think he
those
waited
around,
until that time?
you flip
And
those
when you flip
around,
those
and then
around, you
you
get
get
the
the
Evansville
Evansdale.
girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, but
Who
I don't
just
think
happened to be 2 girl victims. Just saying. It's a little
Yep.
weird, but that's
Yeah,
Delphi
it
for
is.
you.
And I still, to this day, and I know we're live right now, but this is personal. But I hope to have Alex speak and Chickpea speak on, well, several crimes, but and including the Evansdale one. So
yeah, totally.
because
So
they're so
I
knowledgeable
agree.
about it, a lot of shit. So
I agree
Yeah, you
with you
got
if
too many
they.
people gatekeeping the information on stuff like Evansdale and stuff. Sorry, but I'll be the one to say it.
oh,
I don't
I'm
think
you
it's
sorry,
could.
can we go
gatekeeping.
back about the shoes?
Yeah.
Sure, go for it.
There's 3
Thank you,
found, or
Peggy.
excuse me, there's
No,
2.
Paradox. Let Peggy talk.
Sorry,
No, I was done. I just, I was, I was,
I
I was
believe
done.
there's 2 found in the creek and 1 found in the foot. That's why people get like, what the fuck is going on there?
Hold on, I
There's
need to.
2
Oh, I just
shoes in the
researched.
creek.
I believe they said there were shoes in the creek. 2 shoes. I mean shoes, plural.
Are they this like a pair of shoes?
Well, when you say shoes, I would
I
assume it's a
believe they
pair.
were black Nikes, if I remember right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
Libby was wearing.
yeah.
And Abby had, are we saying she had 1 shoe on or
What we're
2?
s- what we're saying is not Abby. I thought it was Libby. I don't know.
I think
It
I
Abby
doesn't.
thought
had
Libby
one
was
shoe on and one
completely
under
naked.
her, and no
Okay, yeah,
socks.
she had 1 under her, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's 2 other shoes. That's something like 2 other. How's that not fucking crazy that we call
Because there
shoes
was a
shoes?
shoe tree there.
That is true too.
So I mean, there's access to other shoes.
Yeah, and I don't know when people are like,
Well, what I always figured when it came to that was that somebody first, before the bodies were found, saw shoes and maybe something else in the creek. And at this point, they still aren't sure. They're looking for bodies or lost girls or whatever else. So maybe somebody picked up a shoe and then somehow it got somewhere else. I mean, it wouldn't be the first
Well,
time something
see,
like that
that's what
happened.
I'm thinking too.
let's not
That's what I feel
let's
about the
not think
shoes.
stuff or think stuff. Let's just go by what they said. And I believe that they said like you couldn't see them even when you were like almost all the way to them. The guy from the opposite side of the creek, what is his name? John Jones or
Hmm.
Jim Johns or something like that.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
He like even he couldn't see him until he was like right up on him, and he thought that they were like mannequins, but like obviously it's like never mannequins in the woods,
That'd
you know?
be, yeah. Pat
If you
Brown
see
definitely said
something
that.
out in the wild and it looks like a mannequin, you probably should just stay away from it. Just FYI. I've seen way too many cases begin with, I thought I saw a mannequin. And then
Exactly the
yeah.
same. Necessary. Same.
Bro,
Okay,
you
we're
can say
gonna
my
go to
name.
the
I'm pretty
trial
sure
notes
most of
by
these people already know it.
No, it's never a mannequin. That's kind of like a
It's never a
statement of
fucking
mine.
mannequin.
Right. And
Unless
it's
you're
not
that
been.
one racist guy, I guess. And then it was a mannequin.
Oh my god, damn it. Necessary. You shouldn't have
I
said that.
had to say it. I had to fucking say it. You're gonna have to bring them in. I'm sorry, people are gonna keep bringing up the Odinists and everything else and how they're suspects in this case, but nothing evidentiary-wise points to any more than one person, other than the differences in sketches.
Isn't
Right.
there like 2 knives used too?
Correct?
Technically, no.
That's what the defense
Yes,
said.
but no.
And the tight timeline and the moving, the staging, the
It was already said
Yeah.
before that on freight days and shit like that, Richard Allen would wear like a fucking little thing on the fucking front of his thing. Okay, to have a box cutter on you and doing retail, I
Normal.
used to have one on me all the fucking time.
Yeah, it's normal.
I did too, but he wasn't at work that morning, right?
I mean, oh, he was supposed to work that morning though. He called off.
Who said that?
He did.
Yeah, where's the
He said he called off and said he wasn't feeling well, and he took a
Where do you
Sarah
say that?
something or other, Seroquel. His original story was his wife left to go do something. I forget which, so I'm not going to
Yeah, his
say.
original story from where
Okay,
though?
him, Richard Allen. His
okay.
original his original thing before he came up to the damn conservation officer and everything else was that he literally woke up, wasn't feeling well, took a Seroquel, if I remember what it was, right after, because he wasn't feeling well, called off from work, and then went to sleep and slept the whole day.
Yeah, where's the receipts for this? I would
No,
like
I have
to.
no idea.
Okay.
Like I
Oh,
said, I'm sitting here on a tablet. I can't really do anything because if I change the page, I can get kicked out of the live.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
No, I mean you don't have to. All right, if I can find the
No, I am.
information after the
I
fact, I
will.
definitely will send it. So,
I'm taking your word
from
for
what
it. And
yeah,
no.
from what I
Yeah.
remember, it was what was said by Rick Allen and Rick Allen's wife. Basically, his wife, I guess, is the one that said it because that's what he told her when she got home or whatever. Even though he was already, I think he got home after she did, or I think
before,
didn't
it
he?
would have. I thought it was before, but
Well, that's what I meant. Yeah.
yeah.
But I know she tried to lie for him, and her original testimony included the whole Seroquel bullshit and all that other stuff, is
Mm.
what I remember.
The time is now 41 minutes into this live, and it's supposed to be a 15-minute test.
I just
Well,
was
I don't
looking for
care.
the info on the shoes.
I don't
Here, I'll
have
share it
any
with you guys.
info. Okay, thank you.
All right, I'll share it with you guys.
Yeah, I took your benefit of the doubt on the shoes. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah. I mean, my understanding was there's two a pair shoes, quote unquote, plural. See this blows, and then there's three I thought found at the crime scene.
You know, I had heard the same things. That's why I basically went along with it. So,
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's false.
mm.
What I'm saying is you can go and look up
Yeah, I would hope everybody in this
testimony.
live realizes this is just four weirdos that freaking have a lot of experience with this case, basically giving their opinions,
Well,
and none of this is fact so far.
actually, I would hope that everybody in this live realizes that All Eyes on Delphi has created a resource for everybody to use for free. And she spent so much time doing it. And you can
Yep.
just go to her Twitter and you click on, or just search All Eyes. I'm not sharing that tab, so you can't see it. Sorry. But
Is
you
the
just go to
No,
her
link to get
Twitter,
to the web? Is the
you
link
go
to
to
the
All Eyes.
website richardalleninnocent.com?
No, you go to All Eyes and
Oh,
then
okay.
you click on, she'll have it like
I'm
linked
just
at the
being a
top and
smartass.
she made it all searchable. It's right here and it has like so many resources in it. If you're not using it, you're dumb.
and on top of that, I'm gonna plug somebody else if you don't mind.
Yeah, plug them.
Yellow Jacket actually has a resource which she's been working on for the last 4 years, and it's all
Mm-hmm.
factual information that's been factually, like, this is from court documents and shit like that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And here, I'll put it in here. Go
Yeah,
there
no
if you
matter
want to
how you
actually
feel
read the
about them,
damn.
they're doing the damn thing.
Yeah, and she's a lovely lady. I know not everybody loves her, but I do.
But were you guys trying to say that you guys want to get off? Because we totally can get off.
No,
I'm just
I'm
curious
fine.
how many people are online right now.
Oh, I
Say,
I
don't
have
know.
no idea on the number, but I'm looking at the chat, and yeah, there's quite a few
10.
people. This is what
10.
I figured. Yeah, 10. Lame. No, I'm just kidding.
Whatever. Thank you guys, all 10 of
Next
you.
time we need to pass
Thank you.
out the freaking links.
Well, yeah,
Dude,
but
I've
we're
been
just
lazy.
trying to get this to work right now, so
Don't hate. You might want to post those links in the chat too, because the people in
yeah.
there would
Oh,
probably like
yeah,
to
that would
see
be a
it.
good idea.
Oh,
Yeah, just letting you know.
and there's a lot of if you want documentation and notes, I'm getting that right now. Give me 1 second.
Well, they're Roger.
Well, believe it or not, y'all, we really didn't plan on this. We were just sitting in the call on Discord talking shit, and then she was like, "Go live," and we're like, "Okay."
Well, we all
No,
agreed upon it.
not not that link, woman. The link to the website for All Eyes on Delphi and stuff. You're just gonna have more people showing up on panel with
What?
us
Did I
now.
click shit?
You need to delete that.
I'm
Yes.
retarded.
I mean,
I
I don't really mind.
It should have copied it. I don't know why I did it. Okay, whatever.
But I'm pretty sure I've been at least banned once in one of these people's chats. I'm looking at the
Already
Well,
banned
people
you.
in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I've been banned in at least one of their chats.
Oh, you have.
Fucking no.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's
Awesome.
Reddit resource. If anybody has Reddit, go there. You can read like a lot of notes.
You were there, don't hate. How you gonna act like I don't know what I'm talking about?
Oh, when you get banned, I know you always get banned.
Yeah, I know. I just show up and I get banned, man. People hate me.
Is that the right link? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, guys.
It doesn't look like a
Very well.
StreamYard link, so I'm gonna guess it.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably better. Can somebody click on that and see if it goes to
Yes,
all
I'm
eyes?
already there. Yes, it does. You got
If
you
I
got
click
it.
on anything, it's gonna kick me the hell off. So I'm
Hold on,
not
I'll
clicking
I'll
shit.
I
find.
think you should
You
totally
got it.
click on it.
No,
I'm just
you
kidding.
nailed it.
Wow, Peggy,
Hold on.
really?
I'm just
Send
Why
me,
you
Yeah.
gotta
send me the
hate
link
me
to the
so
podcast.
much?
I know. You're a sweetheart, Charles.
Charles
I've been
is
trying
like,
to be so nice.
you're the first person I've ever banned from something. Because you
I
like
know, right?
go in and
You
out and in and out
bastard.
and in and out.
Yeah, I know. That's what she said.
BB,
Fuck
yay!
you.
So Charles, are you gonna make it to the trial at all, or?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna be there. What is the date at the moment in time? 4 days. In 4 days.
Hara,
I'm
did you
in
see
no
that?
rush, man.
Well, I wouldn't be
I,
either.
I mean, I'm not even sure if while I'm there, I'll probably go to the trial like one day or something like that. I don't know, probably.
I think Saturday you might have good luck. I was thinking about going Saturday.
Oh, coming is a good idea. It kind of like releases.
Do you guys not? Did I hear that Derek German parked at CPS?
Yeah, that's what
Yes,
they
Derek
said.
Dermott apparently parked at the CPS building. Yes,
And
he
it would
did.
be at the same time that he would have been
Mhm.
there. So now you
Or
have a
was that
Now,
on
I'm
the
not
next day, or
sure.
that was the first day?
No, that was the same day, but I'm not sure if he left at some point to go get the family and then came back again and then he parked there. That's the only part I'm unsure of. That maybe first he had parked somewhere
Okay.
else and then left.
Well, yeah, he
And
absolutely
yeah,
did. He parked across from that, where the camera is.
exactly.
Across from the feed store. What the fuck are the mirrors
And by that
parking lot?
point, everybody knew that two girls were missing. Maybe he had no other
What did he
option by
drive?
that point
No, he
because no
didn't.
one
No,
else.
he didn't. That's why he parked when he was. Now all of this started unfolding, and then
Yeah, it makes
at
perfect
some
sense.
point in time, he probably backed out, and I'll just leave it there.
So it would all depend on what time he got back there to start his search or whatever again, and what time that coincides with the time
Yeah.
that the state claims that
Right.
Richard Allen was there. There we go.
Absolutely, because if you have two people in the same area at the same time, they should see each other, in my opinion. Terrible.
Well, even if
Like
he
this is.
parked at the, not to interrupt, but I always wondered, even at the mayor's lot, if we believe the state's timeline and what happened, wouldn't Richard Allen have to
We'll
pass
see.
Yeah,
that
totally.
Right.
area?
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's like the issue here.
What I don't
Yeah.
get is the people that either A, think that the girls were taken somewhere else, or B, that he planned to kidnap them, take them somewhere else, and then do what he was going to do.
Well,
Neither
how
of
do you
those makes
explain
any
the phone,
sense.
though? How do you
What
explain
about
it
the phone?
turning on?
For all
Nobody
we
said.
know, the cops went to pick up the body and the phone just slipped out
At
or was on
at
the
5
ground in the
o'clock or
process.
whatever. At
Wait,
4:30.
no, not at 4:30 in the morning.
Yes.
Oh, that I need to see the actual evidence and what they're stating, and I actually have to compare it to all the known information about an iPhone 6.
I agree.
Because there is a lot of specific logical reasons why that could have gone off and whatnot.
Right, but I think what
100%.
the defense was alleging is that it was touched by a human.
Well, there's
But
no
they
way
wouldn't know
no,
that.
no. They said
Well, you
for
can't.
fact.
Hmm.
Sorry. They said for fact that they know it was touched by human hands. That is bullshit.
No.
Anything that has a print on your body, and there's multiple things that do, can cross that little line on an iPhone, and sure enough, it'll start reading it as a freaking fingerprint.
Well, they also said that
So
Abby had her fingerprint in Libby's phone, so I think that maybe has something to do with it. But what were you saying other than that, Piggy?
No, I was just pointing that out. So to me, that would mean like somebody would try to either it would mean that either they turned it on, right?
Uh-huh.
That's one. Turn it on and then try to access it would be my, like a step further.
Yeah.
Because it was, if we believe what they're saying, it was off. So if it
Well,
was touched by a human hand, to me, it would need to be turned on.
Piggy, what do you think about this? Weren't you saying that you had like a hotspot before they called them that? Like, what if one of the searchers, like maybe her dad or Mike Patty, had like one of those, like just like whenever my kid's using mine, sometimes I'll
Oh,
forget to turn
that's
it
a
off.
good point. Yeah.
Like maybe they walked by or something and it got Wi-Fi, but did it connect to the network or just Wi-Fi?
well, we'd have to see the
I
information
think it
based
would
on
have
what's there.
to, yeah, we don't, yeah, you're right. We don't know that, how it
At the moment,
connected.
we
I
don't know
thought there
yet.
was like
So
some mention of duplications of,
Yeah, there was. And that's from the transcripts from the 3-day trial. So
so then to me,
No,
it would just be an iMessage
because
versus,
like in 2007, I had a Razor phone, which I had a hotspot on, and I can get the weather and watch some news.
yeah.
And whenever somebody was connected to my hotspot, it would automatically connect, number one.
Uh-huh.
So when I was near them, like my shit would just be automatically shared with them, and I don't know how this is working in 2017, but that's a good damn question. Because if somebody was like a searcher that they had in their phone and automatically connecting to walked by them, did their phone automatically connect? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Did I just solve the crime? No, I'm just kidding.
No, no, that's actually a good
probably not,
question, though.
I'm just kidding.
That's an
because
I
absolutely
would
good
the
question.
think they
antenna.
would need to had to connect to that before for it
Well, I mean, it's
automatically to
Libby's family
pair,
mostly
right?
that's looking for her family and friends of family that are going to
Well,
be like
since we're on
out
the
there.
subject, how do we know that Richard Allen, technically, if he did do it, how do we know he didn't come back to the scene? I'm sure, yeah, it's risky as hell, and this and that and the other.
I mean, all
But
you'd
how
have
do
to
we
do is
know
say he
he
was part
actually
of the
didn't?
search party. Why wouldn't he have said that?
Well,
You can't
he's
really be part of the
lied
search party at 4:30 a.m. when there was no
and
search.
lied and he lied again, time after
Because by
time. He lied.
4:30, the search had been called off, and the only people who were out there were people just doing it on their own, aka the perfect time that somebody could slip in there and not have to write their name down or whatever and do what they have to do.
I'm sorry, I haven't been keeping up with chat.
I mean, I know at the moment his basic alibi for 4:30 that morning was that he was in bed with his wife,
I'm sure he was.
and they were both asleep. But do
Oh
we
my
really
gosh,
know
Kelly,
that?
this one right here, this crime, that's a crazy one, huh? The boys
It
on the
is.
track.
Oh, the boys on the track. Okay. Fuck.
We
Don't
Don't
should go
get
even
to
me
get
that
me
one
started
started
on
tomorrow.
on
that
that.
case. Don't even
Right.
give me. You don't have enough hours in the nighttime to get me started on that case. Oh my
That's what I was about
lord!
to say there, dude. I was
I'm
like,
gonna bring up.
oh,
I'm gonna bring up WWE wrestlers. I'm gonna bring up freaking corrupt cops. I'm gonna bring up a corrupted DA. I'm gonna bring up. You
Rubbish.
don't
I
want
love
to get
that
me
word,
started.
rubbish.
Yeah, you don't want get me started on
I
that
have
case.
at least
Not
10
now.
hours of conversation on that case, but
At least 10 hours worth of conversation.
so
Dude, how did I
let's
get 20
never
minutes
go
behind you
into.
for that? Sorry, guys.
Never, ever, ever, ever going to talk about that case because it's sad that it'll never be.
Yes.
I don't even think that the Supreme, whatever the hell it is, the grand jury, the actual initial information in that case will never be known because
Mm-mm. Well, no, it can't be.
Dan fucking Harmon.
Because of
No.
Dan, because of, Dan, our Dan.
Yeah, it's always
all
Dan's
of our
fucking fault, man. Fucking Dan.
We are cons.
When in
You
doubt,
know
blame a fucking Dan. That's what you got to do.
Blame it on the bear.
that. Yeah, all right.
Damn right.
Anyways, that's
No,
not
but
bad.
Brittany,
One.
I totally agree. Like sometimes the police like think that they're doing like the right thing, and so they think they're like bending the rules for the right reasons, but it's never like it just creates sloppy police work when Jerry Holman is in charge, basically.
And I
And
agree. I wouldn't even say I wouldn't even say Jerry Holman's in charge. This shit was messed up from the get go when it was freaking Tobe Lisenby. Okay, and then it got worse when the FBI got involved, and it got even worse when Liggett took over, and all this other crap. You know, I personally don't even blame the detectives themselves in the matter, as in I don't know. I got to see exactly what all went down and everything else, but everything they seem to do is what I've seen detectives do in all the regular cases.
all right, I
You
am
know,
gonna say my
well,
goodbyes today. Peggy, love you.
Okay, bye.
Good night.
Sorry. Necessary evil. Love you too. You know I do.
I don't
And
have any idea who that person is. I have a name, used it.
and what's that short for?
Hmm?
I don't know.
Short
What's my name? What's my name, Para? What's my name, Dan?
I thought it was,
Oh,
but
that was
Oh, you gonna act
unnecessary.
like you? Okay, I'm gonna kick your ass later on. Gotcha.
Thank you,
You gonna
Para.
act like my damn Discord name? Don't literally just say it on there.
nah, I love you. And obviously,
I
don't
love you
hate
too, brother.
crate. Love you. Thanks for having me on. 15 minutes turned into an hour really quickly. So
Yeah, I don't know what the
I
hell is
figured
happening.
it would.
So-
Because we just don't know how to shut the fuck
Bye.
up. That's why.
He's out. He's out.
Great. Now I got nobody to make fun of. And I'm outnumbered. Lovely.
Well, we could answer the chat since they're in here. We could pay attention to them.
Sure.
Okay. So exactly, and they thought the girls may well have talked into town, and but it says the search was broad, not hyper focused around the bridge, like people assume. But it was like very focused around the bridge for the searcher, those two search parties, which I think is interesting that like some of those people were the same people that had searched there the day before, but it does seem like they were just in a spot that like you really couldn't see unless you were like right upon it, which is hard
You
to
know,
accept.
it's weird. We have so many creators and stuff telling us all these things they swear were true about motorcycles being used in tracks and everything else. I'm surprised I haven't heard a lot of people certain. I'll just shut up.
No, I think there were tire tracks that had like triangles and stuff. Eric Williams says that in his interview. So like it's not necessarily that they just haven't come up yet. Maybe I hope they will. But it sounds like they didn't take any of like they didn't take shoe prints. They didn't take like the sticks. They just didn't see any evidentiary value in all the evidence. I don't really know what that's all about, but that's a shame. Yeah, shoes do
Ever
float well.
since, yeah, ever since I investigated cases in Indiana as a state, I have not been
Great.
very
Yeah.
impressed by the law enforcement that they partly. It's multiple cases in multiple counties. It includes ISP. It also includes the FBI, which, yes, I get is federal, but at the same time, each individual state has its own little bureau and branch of the specific FBI. It just seems like, personally, yeah, they kind of fucking suck in Indiana about this stuff.
Well, this FBI agent that was in charge at the time is Jay Abbott, who also
Jay
was like
Abbott,
letting
who,
that Olympic doctor be a diddler and having dinner with Doug Carter and his wife. So that is just
and
a whole
helped
nother
cover
thing.
up for the Kidsy Diddler Olympic guy. So yeah, there's all kinds of corruption involved. So, well, I will say, hey, I think there's a decent chance that Richard Allen possibly is guilty. I will also say the cops fucked up and they did a bad job, just like in Burger Chef and just like
Like
in
on so
multiple
many
other
levels,
cases.
though, it's like really like pretty depressing. And I just want to know that they like implemented changes within the departments to like at least make sure it doesn't happen again. Like, what did
I
we
think they're
learn
going to
from
tell
this?
us
That's
what
what
we
I want
want
to
to
know.
hear. I
Yeah, I
think they'll
don't
tell us
think
exactly what we want to hear, and they ain't going to do shit.
Well, hopefully they will after
transparent
this.
to have accountability. You need transparency, in my opinion, and
Yes,
I
Agreed.
don't see
100%.
them ever doing that. I mean, it's obvious what happened here, but yet no one's, you know,
They don't
admitting.
want to do it, but like
I
that
mean,
loss or that filing today by what's her name? Andrea Burkhart.
Mm,
Like,
like,
yep,
thank God we
yeah.
have people like that are going in there and like making those filings because like apparently nobody else was going to do it. She had to come over
well,
from
that's
And
Oregon
it's,
probably.
I
to
mean,
Washington. Whoop, whoop.
technically, the law is pretty clear. You know, it's the people, right? People are, for public access.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it already
Media,
went to the Supreme Court
they're
where
all
they told her
equal.
those
It
rules. She
specifically
doesn't care.
says they have equal access. So why does the media have, like, why can't people see the exhibits?
Well,
That's
and why can't it just be like accessible so that people like even the family, like what if Carrie can't make it over to the court or whatever? Maybe they don't want to be in the courtroom like with them people drawing little sketches of them. They should be able to access that too. Like they're making it into like this whole thing. It doesn't need to be like everyone that's in court is like so tired trying to like report back the best that they can, but nobody can like write down that much stuff. It's kind of a joke. It's like it's pretty bad way to do it.
They're not
I
able
think
to
it's
eat. They're not able to
intentionally
drink. Sorry.
created this way. Like, well, let me
Yeah, I
ask you a
think they knew they,
question.
they messed up.
What is more safe in your opinion? Having the trial streamed or even just the audio? Or is it more safe to have an environment that we have now? Because it's
Well,
about public safety too. Like, that's a big component of this.
not to mention that there's all these people that are getting like they're getting very little sleep standing in line and things are getting like emotional and like that's just a recipe for bad Greeno's there. Like which that's great, but like we have all these people that have like histories and backgrounds with each other that are getting like very little sleep and fighting for these seats and then like maybe misreporting, not on purpose, but like everybody's just giving their take. I'm just happy like that for everybody that gets in there and like takes notes. Like I'm very appreciative that they're going through that because it's not easy. I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure after this case is done, the only way I'm actually going to see what's going on in this entire trial is by literally looking up all the court records and whatnot. Uh, while it's nice to hear what a bunch of people are saying, I'm hearing all kinds of conflicting reports
Well,
from people on the same side and on the other side.
Judge Cole's
And
trying to make it so you
obviously,
can't even access those afterwards. I think.
Okay, here's the thing.
mm,
What
because of
if
freedom of information, I
Nick
don't think.
gets and says, you know what, it's still an open investigation?
For them to
I
still
don't
call
know.
it an open investigation, they would have to have some sort of evidence that points to the possible.
And I think they'd have to file an exception to the public access
Yeah.
laws because Indiana is pretty good at that. And you know, I was very surprised when they went to the Supreme Court how like good their camera system is and how like kick-ass Judge Rush, like Justice Rush and like those guys were. Because I was like, if you guys didn't watch that where the writ went to the Supreme Court to get the lawyers back on, that was like impressive lawyering there. I was like very into that. It was like fast. They all asked good questions. They were like, you know,
Well,
I was like,
this is
way
what
to
I
go,
feel.
Indiana. And then they come back here and they just cover up the cameras. They already have cameras in that courtroom. Why not stream it?
Hmm.
And do you know who paid for those cameras?
The
The
public.
citizens, like
Yes.
$4 million.
And it's also like I believe they receive federal funds for that
For COVID and
initiative.
stuff.
I'm not sure if it was related to COVID, but I thought I saw a couple grants as to like the technology enhancements or something like that. I forgot what it was called. It was a certain grant.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never heard the Seroquel story before either. But the prosecution side has, I don't know, possibly connections to certain sources that they may get stories like that from, but I wouldn't take it as fact until it like comes out in the court, and even then we still like are getting like mixed reviews on stuff that's said. So
Well, technically, I don't think we're going to ever hear that story until later on, if it becomes information known by the Freedom of Information Act, because I'm pretty sure in the state of Indiana and most of the
did that
other
link post
states,
eventually? Sorry.
yeah, it did. The first one or the second one?
I don't know any of them. I'm like full 23 minutes behind in chat, which I don't know how that happened. I just
Yeah,
No.
Para said he clicked the link from inside the chat and was able to pull up the site. So.
Oh, in the Discord
Mm-hmm.
or
Oh,
in
in
the
the
chat?
Discord, no, in the chat, I
Okay.
think.
Oh yeah, I did put the StreamYard link. That's funny.
But lucky we didn't get any trolls that came on here. Dan's asleep, apparently.
I'm tired too.
What's
Well, this
new?
was fun. I'm glad you got to get your feet wet with this.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
we're
was
happy to
super
crack your
awkward at
cherry.
first. And thank you for staying longer than 15 minutes.
No problem.
Poor Peggy.
No, I'm like I know I'm gonna feel it tomorrow or today.
Yeah, she was just like, I don't want to go. No, you got to come. I don't want to go. Just like me, it became a hostage situation, and now they want
Okay.
ransom. You know how it goes.
Well, I'm gonna drop off. Have a nice I guess day, everyone. Birds should be chirping soon.
They're going to be starting up at court real soon again.
Oh man, it's 5
It's like an
a.m.
endless cycle over and over and over again.
Well, what did you expect when you got involved in true crime? Just saying.
I
It's just a bunch
expected
of
for
trials.
it to be able to be like you could just watch the trial and people could comment it on it at the time, and it wouldn't take up all day, all night for everybody, you know?
Girl, this ain't Florida, this Indiana, okay?
Yeah. Florida is crazy too, though.
I love Florida for that, though. They don't give a shit. I had two
Got
friends get
hurricanes,
murdered. A couple of
tornadoes,
I ha-
alligators,
I had
snakes.
2 friends that I've known for almost 20 years get murdered not even a month or so ago. And you know how long it took the cops here to catch them motherfuckers? Less than a day. Less than a damn day.
Well, I mean, certain crimes, you know?
In my opinion, this case, if they had just used the basics and logic, they would have solved this crime back in 2017.
Oh my gosh, don't say logic. If they had just if they had just if they just done shit like how they're supposed to do it, they probably could have solved it. Like fucking, and then when they did mess up, they should have gone back and redid those interviews and shit, or
I
like
personally
started
think
all
they
over at the time.
I think they overthought the hell out of everything because of Logan lying about his
No.
alibi and
Mm-mm.
all this other crap. But the moment they knew about that car on CPS, the first thing they should have done when the FBI said the profile says he's probably a local that's blending in, they should have looked up all the people that owned that specific car in Carroll County. Step 2, out of all those people, who of them own a 40 caliber of such and such gun?
100%.
So, I mean, I'm not saying that, once you start eliminating things, eventually you're going to get down to a very small list of people,
That's why
which
I
is
don't think
literally,
that car on the camera is any good evidence. And like, obviously, they didn't have that stuff, or they would have just done that. It's not that hard. But Brittany, I agree. Like, there's other people that they could have definitely put in jail for this crime, like whether they're guilty or not. Like, there's definitely other people I would have been like, hell yeah, there's way less doubt for those people. But like, hopefully, they're gonna come and bring us the evidence with like the following, like the medical examiner and stuff like that. Hopefully, that's there. And the new cell extraction. So we can't really like judge it yet. We just have to like let it happen and just forget all the stuff we think we know and just go with what they're telling us at the time.
I mean, I'm already hearing that they might not even have ran a rape test on the girls, and that alone just shocks the hell out of me.
Well, that officer didn't know whether they did or not. That doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't do it. I'm like hoping that they did do
I
it.
hope to
We
if
can't
they
have fucked
didn't
up
get that
evidence,
far, oh boy. If they didn't do that, oh boy. And it's pretty bad. I'd never have to actually question any law enforcement anywhere for stuff like that. But if I have to do that now, oh Lord.
Well, and then it's like, if they did fuck up that much stuff, how do we like a good faith put like anyone away? Hopefully, they have something that's like very solid.
I genuinely, I honestly, I do hope so. I'm trying to think of what there could possibly be. Like I was saying before, um, if there's certain details that was left out of the paperwork that he received upon jail concerning his case, certain details, they're not going to give you every little detail. What they'll do is give you a basic structure of everything that went on
No, there's
and whatnot and stuff like that. They might list witnesses or whatever else, but I'm not sure if the entire witness's testimony and everything else is going to be on that thing or whatever. But
Brittany.
personally,
We
if
should
there
talk
is
about that
huh?
case. I was talking to Brittany that she said that
Oh,
boys on the track happened right down the road from her. That one's a
in
crazy one.
Arkansas, yeah, Arkansas, right? I think, yeah.
Arkansas. No, but anyways, continue,
Mean,
Charles. I was
Mena,
listening.
Arkansas. But I don't believe. I'm not sure, and that's why I'm not. I'm kind of weary on saying it. But if there's something in one of those confessions that he's been making or whatever, a small detail that literally coincides with something a witness says that nobody else would know, but the killer or somebody who's definitely involved at the crime scene. I'm sorry, to me that just
What would that
screams
be
that.
though? Like, what would that be? What kind of
Uh,
detail could that be?
Personally, it would probably be the fact that Brad Weber came down that private road hauling ass in his white van, and I still believe that's probably what interrupted the crime in the first place.
Except for people knew that Brad Weber came home, right?
What do you mean people knew that Weber
I
came home?
mean, there's many people who questioned whether he was the guy because and said that he had come home around that time, and
Yeah, but
like,
Brad Weber, I believe, started coming down the private drive at around 3:30 p.m., and he has an alibi for directly before that, which is why he's not being contested as a suspect. It would be very hard for him to get from the place where he was filling the ATMs and shit like that, if that in fact is actual truth or whatever, and for him to get back and be seen on that video at 2:13 or involved in the crime is very, very highly unlikely.
well, USA Libertarian makes a good point that like he definitely could have just come back and like claimed he was searching, like I think there's even an account of one person that was over there and they saw the flashlight and stuff at around, in the middle of the night. I can't remember exactly who it was though.
Yeah, but there was tons of searchers still out there. I mean, they were
Not
just not
tons.
being
It's
regulated.
dark. There wasn't tons of people out there still at that time, I don't think.
Yeah, I think Mike Patty was still out there going down the creek and all that in a damn kayak or canoe or whatever. There was several police officers still out there. There, Not several
Dude,
police
maybe
officers, but at
Mike
least some.
kayaked past that phone and it connected to his Wi-Fi hotspot or whatever, and that's what made the text come in. Boom.
It's
Maybe.
possible, but there's something about that that just don't make sense to me. If Logan on his piece of junk flip phone is able to get a damn clear signal from right in his yard around there, a smartphone with a much stronger antenna should easily have gotten the signal unless something was done to it to make sure it didn't have a signal. But the problem with that is, how the hell did it get that signal back again at 4:30 a.m.? That's the question.
Dude, like,
And if
Liggett said that Abby died really slowly and stuff, and if it was under her back, like, and I don't know how you die from exsanguination or whatever, but like, didn't
insinuation means blood loss,
yeah, like she had lost like a lot of her blood, and so I'm just hoping she was not like laying there waiting for somebody to come get her or something like that. I don't know.
but we
can't
also
really-
don't know if Liggett was talking about when the attack initiated and when she died. Because
yeah,
I
and it
still
was
believe,
Frank, so
yeah, I believe personally that Abby was the first one attacked. She wasn't the first one killed. She was just the first one attacked. He wanted to have his way with one of the girls. I guess he chose Libby to make his job easier since he's by himself. He has to eliminate one of them. So he basically hits her in the head a few times with a gun. There you go. She's incapacitated. So the attack's already begun, but technically she's still alive. But yes, she probably lived longer because Libby would have been the first to actually die because he had to chase her down, probably in the water still, stop her from getting away, kill her probably half in and half
okay.
out of the water.
We don't
Possibly.
none of this. We don't know any of this. Nobody said any of this.
No. I told everybody a while ago this was all opinion, straight up.
Paradix. Good to see you, Paradix. I call it auto incorrect because it always just changes my shit to make it wrong. I make my stuff wrong enough all on my own. I don't need auto correct making it even wronger. Even more wrong. Yeah, totally. Like, it's annoying with the investigation because good police work ensures good arrests and convictions, and how they're lax and stupid is frustrating as all heck. I agree. I totally agree. And it's like, that's what I was saying is so annoying about Holman is like, he just, if they think they can like bend the rules on one thing, it all starts adding up and it just like leaves it for a sloppy investigation, which makes it harder to like have those things stick, you know? But what happens?
then
He gets
again-
promotion. So, yay. Yeah, totally. I agree. We will get transcripts at the end. I mean, maybe, but like just those 3 days of transcripts cost like something like almost $5,000. So if you think of all of these transcripts, how much is that going to cost? Like that's outrageous. Plus, how long is that going to take for them to even type those up?
Quite a while.
Like $5 a page for 6 days a week. Like I can't even think of the math, but it'd be a lot.
Well, I do believe that the price went down significantly because of something, I forget what, but the
So
defense
if
was
the lawyers
involved or
request
whatever.
it, that it could go down, and if he is convicted, I'm sure they're going to appeal it, so they would request those transcripts. I'm guessing, but even so, like they take forever, and like even at $1 a page, it's still going to be quite a significant amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, just the time to like go over them and stuff. It's just like the audio. Hopefully, Andrea Burkhart like hopefully the media jumps on that and the public information officer. And like, if you're a local to Indiana, you should stand up and fight for that. If you want to, I don't know. Do whatever you want. I'm not
And
gonna tell you.
you can't rely on true crime because that community is going to move on very quickly after a not guilty or guilty verdict is handed in. 90% of these people are going to be gone.
Yeah, totally.
So it's it's better if people start trying to hold them liable for this stuff now.
Oh yeah, chairs don't count as
Yeah.
people. You can't do that. Chairs are not. You could pay somebody to sit in that chair, but you can't just put a chair there.
That's probably why I won't even go. I don't know. I might go one day or something like that, depending on how it's going at the time. But I am not going to go sit out there at 3 a.m. and freaking damn near snowing ass weather just to freaking. No.
Dude, but like everyone that does, thank you so much for going and like for sharing, like taking your time and then being traumatized by going through that. And then when you're done with that, then coming on and sharing that information with other people. Like
Mhm.
if it wasn't for you guys, there would be no accountability whatsoever.
Thank you for making me not have to suffer. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And especially if you're smart and you take good notes, like, because y'all don't want me in there. I'd be like fumbling it left and right.
Ask
Okay,
me
I don't want to
pretty
go
good
through any
about
more of
that
these
stuff
anymore. I'm
sometimes.
tired and I'm just clicking I'm not reading them, but I appreciate everyone that's in here. You guys are amazing. Sorry if this sucked, but I
Well,
appreciate
next
all of
time
you.
you don't need to do it at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
It's only 2 o'clock in the morning here, buddy.
Yeah,
Plus,
but
look,
you're on the coast.
all these people were
Far,
just
far
waiting.
away.
They wanted to be in our chat.
I told everybody we needed to go live. Nobody freaking listened to me. God.
You just flip flopped so quick right there.
I literally was sitting there at like 5, 6 p.m. in the afternoon going, hey, y'all, we should go live. I got a hold of Dan. Nope, Dan's dying. Oh. Hey, Blake. Nope, Blake's dying. Blake's got shit to do or whatever else. And every single time I turn around, there's somebody's got something freaking. I'm like, I'm about to go on my channel and do this crap.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
I'm very tired. Charles, can you read these
And
comments? Read them.
sure, since I can zoom and stuff like that. Many properties have contacted me saying I'm in the demographic live and D male age, and no one ever knocked on my door.
Yeah.
Well, of course they're not going to knock on your door. You have to have certain characteristics or whatever that make them want to ask you in the first place.
You have to go up to them the first day and tell them you were there, and then so they could lose your tip. Duh.
Yeah, duh. I can see Kathy Allen not having a clue. In the 10 seconds or so I've seen of her, she seems like a surface level person. Of all the serial killers, the family almost never really knows. I'm not so sure about that. I think that most of them don't think that they're whatever, dad, brothers, whatever the hell. I don't think they think he's a serial killer, but I damn sure think that they notice the odd behaviors and shit like that.
I really don't think so because I do understand what USA Libertarian's saying here. Like if you look on her Facebook, it's like she is posting like little fluff. I mean, she worked at a vet's office, so it makes sense she would be posting like fluffy kitties or whatever and stuff. But like she was just about like her family and animals, and like I really think she. Plus, he went to the police like right away, so why would she not think that they knew what they were doing? You know.
Can I ask a hypothetical question since we're still here at this moment in time? Does
Sure.
anybody here think that if they saw their significant other in that video and it was them instead of Bridge Guy, that you wouldn't recognize him by what he's wearing, how he walks, and how he talks?
Dude, I've literally like been in a store and like gone up to somebody who was like not my family member or like had like a kid come up to me and think I'm somebody or like also just walked right past my family member and not like realized who it
Well, I'm
was.
not talking about kids. Kids can be kind of dumb, and
Dude, kids are better than adults most of the time. I'm just
I'm just talking about they're a little naive. They will walk up to adults and grab the wrong person's hand and all kinds of other stuff. I've seen it before. And I mean no hate by it, but what I'm asking is people that live in a house with a person, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you saw that same video and that person you're with and you've been with them for many, many years, it's in that video, it are you at least just going to be like, well, it kind of looks like him. It kind of sounds like him, but I'm not sure if it's him. You're going to at least have to think about it.
I mean, maybe, but like then when you think about like you look at one who law enforcement was looking at, which was like Daniel Nations and all these like people who are like very criminal looking, and then the height and weight on the wanted poster, and just all of these things that like indicate that they would have already checked into your husband and he was cleared. Like he went forward, he talked to them.
I believe that's exactly what he told her, too.
Sphincters are twitching in Indy. That's funny. Ash Sphincter says what? I have heard there was cleaning supplies that you used at the scene, but I don't think we would know
I
that
have
at
not
least until
heard a
tomorrow
thing
when
about
the
that. Yeah.
medical examiner.
Trial wise, I ain't heard nothing about that trial wise yet.
Yeah.
What I was saying earlier is we need to stop believing what we hear from all the creators and junk in the past from right now, and just
Exactly,
listen to
Mr.
what they're
freaking,
telling us in the trial.
Exactly. Yeah.
I
Mr.
never told anyone
Spiritual.
to believe me. Listen, I never told anyone to believe me on anything. I literally gave a story that a specific person gave me, which you don't want me talking about right now.
Why? I didn't say you couldn't talk about anybody. You could talk about whoever you want.
Well,
I don't
you
care.
know exactly who I'm talking about.
Maybe we won't talk about them. I don't know. I don't know who it is. I don't care.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't. Yeah, you think? Okay. Robert Lindsay is a pedophile.
Yeah, he's a super pedophile. Like when I read his stuff, I was like, "Oh my gosh,
I
Sloopy
swear to God.
Goofy."
Huh?
Oh, I just got in trouble for even saying that. No, I'm
Oh,
kidding.
great. He is a
Like it noted the
pedophile.
artery or whatever that was cut means Abby would have taken much longer to die. That's pretty sad. Longer, not much longer. That's what she said.
No,
I shouldn't. I'm sorry. I shouldn't. I should not joke about stuff like that when we're talking about this content. I forget when I'm
really,
talking to her.
you're
Not
so
good.
rude.
It
You
is
cannot
actually.
talk happily and make jokes about kids getting cut up. That's rude.
Hey, seriously, stop! Don't do that. It's too late right now. It's not good. Dude, I feel like I'm never ever going to catch up on this chat. Like, how do I catch up on it?
I imagine basically the same scenario as me. Speculation, but it is only the only way to make sense of it.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
I got
true.
a whole bunch of other information that I feel personally happened, but I wasn't allowed to talk about it, so I'll just
I
shut the
think
fuck
it was
up.
actually like cut or the blood had like run down that way. I'm not sure if it's actually cut or if it would run down, but yeah. Polygraph, whoop whoop! First live, cherry popping.
This is her first live too, so yay!
That's what they're saying. You're funny,
Well, I mean,
dude. For
technically
real,
on
like
this
we do have
channel
to
at
get
least.
the transcripts. That will happen.
No, we can just let people like the Troll Farm and the other people buy them, and then we'll just get them off of them. So it's all good. I got sources, y'all. I got sources. Well, since the authority on all things Delphi cooked Goosey is here. I guess that is the cue to depart. Thank you
I
kindly.
guess it is, but
Great first live, and I wish you well.
be nice to each other.
Really? I'm literally pro-state. You see me on here happily talking to all kinds of people. Why
I
everybody
think
gonna
it's
take
time
shit
to
personally?
get past that. If now is not the time to come together and just be in it for the girls and the truth, then when is? But thank you very much for the first live wishes, well, and everything. But I would like everybody to just get along and be nice to each other all the time. But it doesn't work like that, but still.
Why do I feel singled out?
No, you're fine. Everybody's welcome here.
I know.
Everybody.
Lately, I've been good. Honestly, I've been pretty good lately.
I know. I almost think you're getting convinced in a little bit. Thank you very
No,
much.
no, no. You can keep thinking that all you want.
Whoop whoop.
Wow. See, there
Well
you go,
done. I don't
woman.
know about well done, but we did get it a little bit more together than we had it at first. Yes, Brittany. Great live. Great live, Brittany. Just kidding. The video recently of Holman at Crime Crun where he admits Mike Patty was sketched. Also, what the fuck was he doing with his hands? Very strange. Oh yeah, the hand signals in this are definitely I definitely can go down those roads a lot.
It's the Freemasons, dog. It's all that Freemason shit, bruh.
I mean, it is. There's a lot of
It
symbolism.
is. I mean, I'm not lying, but I'm just making it into a kind of a joke. But yeah, it is true. It is the Masonic freaking hand signs.
Dude, and Holman, I thought it was crazy that Holman said multiple times that it was that Mike got sketched because for one, how did they decide which witnesses were credible and which ones weren't? Because, but anyways, but if the other ones look like Mike, then then the ones that people did think look like Mike, I don't know. He's right though. Any Midwestern man, a lot of them look similar to how he looks and dress similar to how he looks, like the bridge guy. I mean, any Indiana man really, like a Carhartt jacket, even in Oregon, jeans, a Carhartt jacket, it's not uncommon at all.
I can tell you right now, he don't look like no Floridian. If BTK and Gary Ridgway's family had no clue, and they had no clue that anyone could do it. But here's the difference: we never had video of BTK. We never had video of the Green River Killer. We never had sketches of
Yay,
them as
you
well.
thing in here.
And very much about her husband's shattered lives, I'm sure, or I'm sus. I don't know. The quiet social media, the RS never came forward to friends, family, work, ever, and put being out there. He obviously came out to some people because there was people leaving little comments and stuff on news websites telling them to take down the bridge guy video and stuff long ago because the person in it had been cleared. I'm not sure if there's any truth to that. I'm not sure. Yeah, not sure if that's true. I'm just saying the comments.
Your brain can be very powerful, to protect you from stuff like that. Just with being cheated on and stuff. As a girl, if you're in an abusive, I mean, a guy too probably. Your mind can lie to you and tell you what you need to hear to protect you. So I just would not assume that Kathy Ellen knew what was going on because that's a
can
pretty
I ask you a little
claim.
question about that?
What?
Before your brain switches into denial, you start to suspect the person of stuff. It doesn't right away go into, he can't be cheating on me. You start to notice differences, strange behaviors, differences in the way the person's doing things, their daily activities, all that other stuff. You find reason in the things that they do to start suspecting them in the first place.
Yeah. Well, and this codependency right here, Dr. Monica Walla said that Richard Allen had, I forget what it was called, but it was basically a severe codependency. Is that do you know what I'm talking about, Charles?
Yeah.
I don't know. So I think they were.
It's definitely possible, but I want to say that there's definitely more to this, but I apparently shouldn't talk about that right now. So
No,
I
talk
don't
about
know
it.
if
Talk
it'll
about it.
ever come out.
Kathy.
I believe Kathy Ellen has already said something in regards to certain specific events and whatnot. And personally, I trust the people that told me about it in the first place. Whether or not that said video will ever come out, I have no idea.
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
know for a fact that it exists. I don't
And
expect anybody to believe me, but you know,
this is a
this is
good
how
point
I
too.
feel.
Like he was at CBS, like those witnesses didn't come in, or like he was even backing his car into the CBS. So like to say that, I mean, he just was right there in plain sight. If it was Richard Allen, he was like he didn't even take the posters down from his work or anything.
The whole voice not or his mouth not moving in the video or whatever, that could be just a pixel mess up or all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah,
There's a
like the
million
noise from
different
the
reasons there could be a
pixelization or
delay.
whatever.
You know, he could have said it, but then the audio was delayed,
Yeah.
and the time that we would have seen the mouth move, etc., was already past. There's a lot of different reasons. You can't just go by that or whatever.
I agree.
And of course, nobody can positively identify that image because there's no way to possibly. You can literally break it down to into logical. Well, I think he's might be around this height. I think he might be around that height. Like
Well, and
a
it
lot of
was
things,
recorded
you can.
in it was recorded in Snapchat, right? So it's like what were you
Yeah,
saying? That's like a double layer or something?
but technically, it's 3 layers for the audio and for the video and everything else. Snapchat uses a cheap ass camera system and everything. She probably would have gotten a much better video if she had just recorded it with the damn camera that's on her
Yeah.
cell phone.
But then you can't use them
There was
filters.
exactly. Well, she wasn't planning on getting murdered, so I get it. You know.
Oh my gosh. I can't even like actually I think about it every day. I go for a walk up this trail and I just think about like how like you get that scared, like you get nervous when somebody's coming like that. And then like you get like more and more nervous and then you'd like be like, "Oh, I'm just tripping, you know. They're going to walk by," and then they don't, and then it just keeps on getting worse and worse and worse, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
like it literally is so sad. Like and for the people that were in court today, like I really hope you guys are all doing okay because I know it was a rough day,
Um. Yeah, I'm pretty glad I'm not there right now, to be honest.
especially the families too. It sucks. And like, why? Like, what is wrong? Like, why would you do that in the middle of the day? Like, what the fudge, man? And then if it is Richard Allen and he could just go up the pond with his like daily life like that, that's crazy too.
And the fact that he wasn't really a drunk or on drugs or anything like that. It's just I don't know. Something just ain't sitting right with me about the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Okay, so Kay, you said that he got interrupted, so you couldn't essay him. The problem I have with that is that van, if it was the van that interrupted him, it came at like 3:30. So what was he doing for like that hour beforehand? Wouldn't he have had plenty of time to do that? Like, wouldn't that be like the first thing he was doing when they got across the creek? But I don't think we know if they, I mean, if they were both had to be naked, then it was probably SA. Like that's a good indicator right there.
I mean, technically, everybody that keeps talking about SA and stuff like that are forgetting one strong detail. They don't necessarily have to be alive for that.
Oh, yeah. Oops.
Sorry to say it, but that's just fact.
Yeah. I don't know. That's very tough. Hopefully the truth will prevail. Like hopefully.
I don't know how somebody could
I
just go from
Yes,
not
Kay, I
breaking
am.
any
The secret
laws.
has been told. The secret's out. One and the same.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I was keeping it still, but yes, that's the fishy.
I feel if somebody asks me right out, I can't lie to them. Like it's rude.
Yeah, no, you're right. Shouldn't have to.
I mean, I liked it before when I could just like be anonymous, but
Well,
then I told Ruckus and he spilled
messed
the
up.
beans.
I could have told you never tell Ruckus. Ruckus is.
I think he just
I've
forgot.
got
Maybe
so
he did it on
much
purpose, but
information.
I don't know. I asked
The
him.
name of
said
the
he-
person, yeah, the name of the person that I'm not supposed to know that I know, I only know because Ruckus told me. That should tell you, don't tell Ruckus anything. He cannot be trusted. I love
like
him to
Ruckus.
death, but I love him to death, but he can't be trusted with specific information. He will, once he thinks you're on your side, you're on his side, he will accidentally spill that information. That's just how it goes.
Oh, he knows me and him have always been on opposite sides, but like we shared like a mutual respect. I think he just forgot that it, or I don't know. Maybe he got mad because I made a video. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't. He was cool about
No,
everything.
it was more than likely he just figured you were hanging out with us so much that you probably had already told us. That's all.
No, I think it was before that. Maybe I don't know. Plus,
Personally, I never heard. Yeah, you were the one that told me, so.
I wasn't hanging out with you guys. I was just.
You were fucking hanging out with us.
I was
Don't
just
lie.
listening to both sides like a good human being. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah. So full of shit. She thought this side was cooler, so she was like, I'm gonna go over there and hang out with those guys.
Oh, USA Libertarian, I do believe it because I didn't know the Kardashians were a thing until like 10 years after they were. And my sister was like shocked. She was like, what? How do you not know who the Kardashians are? And I was like, I just was
That's a
like
good
not watching
thing.
TV and stuff. I was like doing other stuff. I mean, like nobody needs to know about the Kardashians, that's for sure.
You know, the last time I actually watched TV was
I
like
don't know.
6 years ago.
You
Yeah,
haven't
like
watched
6 years
TV
ago.
since then? I mean,
I
YouTube
haven't watched TV in 6 years. I'm either on YouTube or on an app or something like that. I do not
Go
watch TV
outside,
anymore.
dude.
I do go outside.
I don't. No, just kidding. I do. But Jenny 867.
I have to work, woman.
Thank you. Thank you.
8,
Yes, it's some of my finest work to work on Patrick Westfall with the dancing bears, a dancing brown and a white bear, to show they can get along. I tried to include like clips that would make him be like irritated. I don't know, but he's very I don't know, approachable when to talk to. So I don't know. Oh yeah, let's give me a score over a score.
Why are there more people now than there was before? When
I think it's because we've been on for so long that people are starting to wake up again. They're on the other side of it, and there's nothing else on,
crap.
so they're stuck right here.
That is true. It is almost 6 a.m. where I am, at least.
And I can't catch up with the chat, so we're just keeping going and going and going.
Yeah, because I'd feel like an asshole if I just dipped on you since everybody else already has.
Yeah, I would definitely be really sad. I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, I got you.
You're supposed
If
to be
anything,
reading.
even I was trying to, but your bitch ass just interrupted me. How about you shut up and let me read? Okay. All right. If anything, even if she had any suspicions, she probably felt like he went to the police and he went to the police and was cleared. So 5.5 years confirmed her lack of suspicion. Yeah,
Agreed.
all I'm saying is I think she suspected him a little bit. That's all. I'm sure she noticed some weird events at the time. Couldn't figure out why he was doing that kind of stuff. But then after that, and he got arrested, I'm sure it all just started flying back into her head like, oh, I remember this.
I mean, yeah. Did you just leave?
Do I sleep?
I thought you just left. I was going to cry.
Why would I leave? What the hell is wrong with you?
Press the wrong button, your phone dies. Many reasons.
Nope. My phone is plugged in. Thank you very much. I'm not stupid. It's almost at 100% actually. Nope. I wouldn't trust Ruckus as far as I could throw him. I could throw him pretty far. He's tiny. He has zero impulse control. See, they get it.
Don't take any wooden nickels, though, you know?
don't take any wooden nickels for sure. Like I said, do you know how many times if I got $5 every single time Ruckus told me something that I wasn't supposed to know, I'd at least have $100 by now. In my opinion, Richard Allen isn't who people think he is, and he's actually a goodie who has been approached to do a specific what? I don't even understand what the hell that was, but okay. Also, the description.
Oh yeah, good job. Sorry, I was gonna help.
Go for it. My bad. Also, the description of
of your good guy was basically everything RA is not. So even if she looked into it, that would confirm her lack of suspicion. Totally.
Can I just add for all the things in the description that BG was not, that I was telling people that back in, when was it, 2019? Yeah, 2019, I told everybody. It's true. I can prove it. I literally told everybody in 2019 that Richard Allen, my apologies, bridge guy was about 5'4.5" to 5'5" feet tall. As it just so happens that I got really lucky and the guy they just happened to arrest matches my.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just that good. I don't know.
I don't want these girls to say I made them get off the bridge, so I'll chase them across the creek and massacre them. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but then again, I'm not a killer. But you know what does make a lot of sense was one person had said that, and they were dressed all in black, which we know one of the witnesses, at least one of the girls that was on a news program, like real recently after that, said her friend saw somebody that was in all black. And one person said that like the girls were, I think, like going to the bathroom or something at the cemetery, and we also know that there was a geocache like over there. And so he said that like he could have like thought that they were like desecrating a grave, and that kind of does make sense, but like that's totally a different person, but like at least that story does make sense.
Really quickly, she went into cleanup mode immediately. Then she crossed her fingers and shut her eyes and buried herself in denial. Yeah, that's what I figured.
I mean, no,
it probably wouldn't have been much. She would have just been like, huh, and then be like, nah, and moved on. But at least she had that little, and then as time went by, little events would occur and this and that, that she would have been like, he's acting really odd. But of course, she's not going to put two and two together. Not until all of it comes back into play and the arrest is made. Then I'm sure she freaking knew 100%. I personally don't think. Well, hold on, I guess I'll read it. Personally, I don't think he had anything to do with it. They thought he was a simple guy, a nobody who they thought they could take down without too much fuss or fight, and no one would notice or care. Does anybody actually remember the amounts of votes? Because the main reason that people say that Richard Allen or whatnot was blamed in this crime and that he's innocent is to claim that Liggett would have never won the election without the arrest. But couldn't he have just blamed Ron Logan? He's just already dead. He's got a massive criminal record. He lied about his alibi.
I think what I think happened was that they find this tip, and it was like it was during he was there during that time frame, and then what happened was they turned that bullet in, and when that matched, which like they tested that very quickly, then Jerry Holman got like too into it when he was questioning him, and he was like, you know what, this is realistic and I'm gonna prove it. And like I think he legitimately thought it was the right person. And after that, like it just was a train of incompetence. I don't think it was like some big conspiracy theory, or maybe he is the right guy. Either way, like it's definitely something that needs to be like, we need to see the evidence, you know? Like I'm waiting for that to happen, and I'm hopeful, and I'm just gonna go with that at this point, you know? Because if I don't, I'll cry and like throw up and stuff. Krampus, the geocache guy. Did you guys
the
see? I have a
college
video on
professor.
here. I have a video on here of what Libby left for Kelsey in a geocache box from her and Susan Hendricks, which I thought was a very crazy, like weird little addition. I don't know. You should watch it. Everybody, it's crazy.
Oh man, people need to understand that this is one of those once in a million freaking rare ass pain in the ass hellacious cases that just don't make any sense. Because there's way too many weird coincidences. We've got multiple possible sexual offenders in contact with the victims. I mean, there's a lot of shit here that damn sure wouldn't be involved with 90% of the other cases that we get. And that's what's made this thing go entirely insane in the first place. That, and I think everybody knew from the get go that Indiana law enforcement wasn't going to do a great job, because anybody that knows Indiana law enforcement already knows they're not going to do a good job. Just saying.
I don't know. Like,
For the
hopefully,
longest
they
time,
did a decent enough job that there's some evidence that they could go on.
well,
You know?
like I said, I still would like to know about this motorcycle cover. Why did they take it? They had to have a reason. Does it coincide with the tracks that was found that night? Because that in itself is more evidence, something that actually points to his guilt. So it all depends on what gets said in trial after this. And if somebody's already talking about tire tracks, well, there you go.
I agree that they could have been taken under false pretenses of hanging out with Logan Holder, or even real pretenses of being able to hang out with him. I don't know. With Libby taking courses at Purdue, that is also another place where she would meet people in another, I don't know, like area that possibly should come into contact with someone like that. They aren't targeting RA. They think they can get a conviction because everyone else has an alibi. Well, like, I don't think everybody else does have an alibi, because, like, I think they just, if they were missing Richard Allen, who else were they missing? They could be missing multiple people. Plus, there are people that live right by that bridge that are also questionable. And, like, what about the Maxwells? Did they see him or they didn't see him? I don't know. There's plenty of people they could have put it on. I think they have the right guy, but who knows?
But why pick this guy with no criminal record or none of this other stuff?
Because they hadn't done like that deep investigation on him like they had on everybody else. Maybe. I don't know.
I'm not exactly sure, but like I said, he fits the profile, sadly.
What? He doesn't fit the profile.
He does fit the profile.
I don't know how they couldn't pin it on the clients, because I think if they took it to court with the circumstantial evidence from the clients, that people would have happily convicted either of them for it. Really, that's the kind of person we wanted it to be. That's the kind of person I would have thought it would be. I would think they would have CSAM on their computer. I would think that they're like
one of the
smashing
clients
their
is
kid's
6'1"
head in the toilet when they were little. Like, that's the kind of person I would think would do this.
Keegan Klein is 6'1". His dad, I believe, is 6'3". There's no way they're bridge guy.
Well, the
Sorry to be
FBI
the
thought
one
it would
to-
that it could have been somebody tall enough to be Ron Logan. So, like, I just think the height. I think
Ron
you're
Logan is
overestimating them.
6'2".
They do suck. They do.
I'm just saying, Ron Logan was 6'2".
Yeah. So,
and technically, the FBI were unsure of his height, but they got the idea, because of his lying and everything else, that he was possibly the culprit. Which I get. They were found on his land and everything else, but the point is, why go through all this just to blame an innocent man like Richard Allen? It would have been much easier for them to just make a news press conference and say, "We have discovered through blah blah blah," like they did with the Adam Walsh case. And
when did they kick the FBI off the case?
That I'm not sure of. I believe it was after the whole Keegan Klein arrest thing, because as I said, the FBI was still involved in the investigation when they lost the supposed video or whatever from the marathon store.
I think
So I'm
that at
guessing
the
around 2019, maybe 2020, something like that.
yeah, he's the guy. He's the only guy they can place there. Like, and I think also like at the time when like it was going for the sheriff election, the multi task force thing, he was like the only one that was actually still there from that. It was like basically a time where like a lot of those people were like moving on to different careers or like I don't really know what happened to him, but I know that in the sheriff election debate, they like he was talking about how like he is the only one that's in there still. So maybe it's just the timing. I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping it's Richard Allen. I hope they got the right guy. But if they did, it wasn't because of their police work. It was from pure luck.
Basically, I'd like to know how they came up with him in the first place. That's what I'd like to know. I don't think we're ever going to hear the truth about that, to be honest.
I think hopefully we're gonna get the truth. Maybe.
Maybe. That just think there's a little bit too weird of coincidences. Question: Who
What?
believes Tori Smith's information on YouTube about Doug Carter and raping, torturing, and
I don't know. I don't know who.
what? I don't know who Tori Smith is, and I don't know nothing about necessary evil. Still isn't understanding. They pin things on people to clear the case. You missed the point that I was pointing out. That Liggett didn't. It didn't take much or whatever for him to win that election. Mike Thomas was already going to get his ass whooped basically in it. If they had just blamed Logan, if the election was the only thing that was keeping him, in office, they could have just blamed anybody by that point. They did the same thing. The Adam Walsh case with Otis. I forgot his damn last name.
Doug Carter also is coming to the end of his career. He wanted it closed too.
That's true. But that should lead you more to believe that the evidence might be, that's why I got hope. Kay, you will be so validated when they finally talk about the pig roast at Logan. Okay.
Okay, we made it to the end.
Oh,
Yay!
yeah, the supposed pig roast at Logan's that was held the night before and all that other stuff that apparently all kinds of bad people were at and stuff.
I don't know, but I'm
Can
hungry right now and tired. Thank you guys so much, everybody who stayed and commented and liked and everything. And thank you, Charles, and thank you, Paradox, and thank you, Peggy, for coming on with me. And I'm gonna end this before anyone else comments again. Okay, bye. No.
Just close the screen. God. Bye.